Deciding to move into a nursing home is never an easy decision, especially for those of us who have spent a lifetime taking care of ourselves. It's a choice many of us face when we realize we can no longer manage day-to-day tasks on our own, and often it's driven by the desire for safety and care. But what many don't realize is that this decision can bring unexpected challenges that we didn't anticipate. For many of us, the transition from living independently to relying on others can feel overwhelming, even isolating. In this article, I want to share with you some of the truths that might not be so obvious at first. There are aspects of life in a nursing home that can come as a shock, things we didn't expect, and feelings we weren't prepared for. The goal here is not to scare anyone, but rather to offer an honest look at what life can be like once you make this choice. We will explore the emotional and physical aspects that many of us don't consider until we find ourselves living in a nursing home. This article is for anyone who's thinking about moving into a nursing home or has already made that decision. It's here to help you understand the real, unspoken realities. It's a place where we can share our experiences and thoughts with each other. So if you're considering this move or are already in the process, we hope you'll find comfort and guidance in these words. Our goal is to offer insights that may help you make an informed decision, just as we wish we had when we first faced this life change. Now we will get started. Many of us think that a nursing home is the safest option, a place where we will receive professional care and be in good hands when we can no longer manage on our own. It's easy to assume that once we move into a facility, all our needs will be taken care of. At first, the idea seemed like the perfect solution for me as I started feeling concerned about my health. Take Mrs. Evelyn, for example. She had always been healthy and independent, but as she got older, she began to feel more fatigued and struggled to keep up with her daily activities. Her doctor advised her to move into a nursing home where she could receive better medical care and be monitored regularly. She felt it would be the best decision for her health. Like Mrs. Evelyn, I too thought a nursing home would be a safe, reliable option. After all, we think about the medical care and the support staff who are always there when needed. It seemed like the perfect solution for all the worries I had about my health. But I soon realized that while medical care is available, it's not always as personalized or thorough as I had imagined. As we age, both our physical and mental health begin to change, and the reality of needing help becomes undeniable. I noticed that things I used to do easily were now becoming more difficult. Tasks that once felt effortless, like preparing meals, cleaning the house, or even walking to the mailbox, were suddenly overwhelming. Mr. John, a friend of mine who moved into a nursing home a few months before I did, shares a similar story. He used to be active in his community and loved doing things around the house. But after suffering a fall, he realized that it was becoming harder to live alone. I was tired, he told me, tired of doing everything by myself. The physical toll of aging left him yearning for assistance, which ultimately led him to make the move. At first, I resisted the idea of needing help. I had always been independent, and it felt like I was giving up a part of myself. But the truth is, as we get older, our bodies just don't function the same way, and that's something we all have to accept. We all reach a point where asking for help is not only okay, it's necessary. When I first considered moving into a nursing home, I envisioned a calm, peaceful place with a warm, supportive environment. I imagined a staff who would be attentive to my needs, a place where I could engage with others in a similar stage of life. It seemed like the ideal environment for my later years, a community where I could relax and not worry about the day-to-day stresses of life. But there's a difference between the idea of a nursing home and the reality of it. Mrs. Grace, a resident at the nursing home I moved into, once told me, "I thought I'd find peace here, a place where I could finally rest." However, she confessed that the routine and lack of freedom in a structured environment were not what she had hoped for. Instead of finding peace, she found herself longing for the independence she once had. Like Mrs. Grace, I had to come to terms with the fact that no place would ever fully replace the freedom I once had. The vision I had of a peaceful retreat quickly faded, replaced by the realization that I was now part of a community with its own rules, schedules, and limitations. The reality of life in a nursing home. 1. The loss of independence and freedom. When we first consider moving into a nursing home, many of us imagine a place where we'll be cared for and where we won't have to worry about things like cooking or cleaning. But what many of us don't realize is the toll it can take on our independence. The routines and rules in a nursing home can feel confining, leaving us longing for the freedom we once had. Let me tell you about Mrs. Anna, a woman I met when I moved in. She had always been independent, working as a teacher for many years. But when her health started to decline, she reluctantly agreed to move into a nursing home. At first, she was okay with it. She thought she could get used to the structure. However, she soon realized that the schedule dictated by the nursing home staff was far different from the life she had been used to. "I feel like I've lost control of my own life," she told me one afternoon. "I'm not allowed to do things at my own pace anymore." Her story is one many of us can relate to, as it's hard to give up the sense of independence we've built over the years. In nursing homes, we are often required to follow strict schedules, from meal times to medication doses. Simple things like choosing when to go to bed or deciding what to eat can no longer be done on our own terms. This loss of independence can be one of the most difficult aspects of living in a nursing home, and it's something that takes time to adjust to. 2. Loneliness and isolation. Another truth many of us don't anticipate when moving into a nursing home is how lonely it can feel. Even though there are other people around, many residents feel isolated. The experience of loneliness is often magnified by the lack of deep, meaningful connections. Take Mr. Jack, for instance. When he first moved in, he thought he'd have no trouble making friends. But after a few weeks, he started feeling disconnected. "You think you'll be surrounded by people, but it's just not the same," he explained to me one evening. "I miss my family, and I miss having the kind of friendships where we can really talk about things that matter." Even though there were other residents in the nursing home, Jack struggled to find the same kind of companionship he had before. For some of us, the transition to a nursing home means leaving behind our familiar routines and social circles. And even though there are other people in the facility, forming new connections can be difficult. Many of us find ourselves missing the old friendships, the close relationships, and the social interactions we once had. 3. The quality of care, not always as expected. We often move into a nursing home thinking we'll receive the highest quality care. The staff will be attentive, and our needs will be met with the best medical attention available. However, as many of us quickly realize, the level of care can sometimes fall short of our expectations. Mrs. Betty, a dear friend of mine, had high hopes for the nursing home she moved into. She expected the best care possible, especially after she had been diagnosed with a chronic illness. But after several weeks, she started noticing some discrepancies in the care she was receiving. "I don't feel like they're paying attention to my needs as much as they promised," she confided in me. "Sometimes it feels like I'm just another number on the list." Sadly, many of us share similar experiences. In large facilities, the staff-to-resident ratio can be overwhelming, and as a result, we may not always get the personalized care we need. While the staff may be kind and hardworking, the demands of the job can sometimes make it difficult to provide the level of care that we're used to or expect. The lack of social engagement and mental stimulation. One thing that often comes as a surprise is the lack of mental stimulation and social engagement in nursing homes. While many nursing homes offer group activities, these can feel impersonal and unfulfilling. For many of us, the days start to blend together, and the activities offered may not be as stimulating or engaging as we would like. Mr. Harold, a fellow resident, once shared with me that he missed the intellectual conversations he used to have with his colleagues before he moved in. "Here, the activities are fine, but they don't challenge my mind," he said. "I used to be able to have discussions about history, politics, or even philosophy, but now it's mostly about bingo and crafts." Mental stimulation and engagement are important for us, especially as we age. Being able to keep our minds sharp and engaged can make a huge difference in how we feel mentally and emotionally. Unfortunately, in many nursing homes, there is a lack of variety in activities that provide us with the mental challenges we crave. 5. The challenges of being away from family. The emotional toll of being away from our loved ones is often underestimated. Moving into a nursing home means that we may no longer have daily contact with our family members, and while they may visit from time to time, it's just not the same. Many of us find ourselves longing for the comfort of familiar faces and the warmth of home. Take Mrs. Grace, for example. She moved into a nursing home after her children convinced her it would be the best option for her. But as time passed, she started to feel the void left by her family. "I miss my children so much," she told me with a tear in her eye. "Even though they visit, it's just not the same as having them around all the time. I never imagined how much I'd miss them until I couldn't see them every day." For some of us, the physical distance from family and friends is one of the hardest parts of nursing home life. Even though we know our loved ones are doing their best to visit and stay connected, the reality is that being away from them every day can lead to feelings of sadness and longing. Other challenges of living in a nursing home. 1. High costs and financial struggles. One of the biggest challenges that many of us face when moving into a nursing home is the high cost. While we hope that this transition will provide peace of mind, the financial burden can quickly become overwhelming. Many families don't realize just how expensive it is to live in a nursing home, and they may find themselves struggling to pay for care that seems to be never-ending. Take Mrs. Margaret, for example. She had lived in her own home for years, but when her health started declining, her family encouraged her to move into a nursing home. She thought the insurance would cover most of the costs, but she soon realized that wasn't the case. "I was shocked when I saw the bill," and she told me one afternoon. "Even with insurance, I'm paying more than I ever expected. It feels like every penny I've saved is just going into this place." The high costs of nursing home care are not something that most of us prepare for. We assume that insurance or Medicare will cover the majority of the expenses, but there are often hidden costs for services that aren't included. These can add up quickly and leave families with difficult financial decisions to make. 2. Unfamiliar and sometimes unwelcoming environment. When we move into a nursing home, we often hope to find a peaceful, welcoming place where we can feel comfortable and at ease. But the reality can be different. Many of us experience a sense of discomfort or unease in a new environment, especially if it feels impersonal or institutional. Mr. Charles, who had lived in the same house for over 40 years, shared how he felt when he first entered the nursing home. "I couldn't believe how sterile and cold it felt," he said. "It didn't feel like home at all. Everything was just so clinical, and the staff seemed busy all the time. I missed the warmth of my own house." The unfamiliarity of a new environment can be hard to adjust to. From the decor to the noise levels, it's a far cry from the comfort of our own homes. This can leave many of us feeling like we're just another resident, not truly at home. Over time, we learn to adapt, but that initial shock is something that stays with us. Moondrum. Strict rules and lack of flexibility. One of the things many of us don't consider when moving into a nursing home is how restrictive the rules can be. While we might think that we will have the freedom to live as we please, we quickly learn that there are many rules that govern our daily lives. Take Mrs. Helen, for instance. She had always been an early riser and enjoyed a cup of tea in the morning before starting her day. But in the nursing home, she was told that breakfast wouldn't be served until a certain time. "It was frustrating at first," she admitted. "I used to have my tea whenever I wanted, but now I had to wait. It felt like I lost control over even the little things." Whether it's the strict meal times, the limited visiting hours, or the lack of personal space, these rules can sometimes feel stifling. We go from having complete control over our daily routines to living under the watchful eye of staff who enforce schedules and policies. This lack of flexibility can make us feel less independent and more like we're being told what to do, even in the smallest aspects of our lives. Lack of personalized attention. We move into nursing homes hoping to receive the best care possible, but sometimes the level of attention we receive can fall short of our expectations. The staff in nursing homes are often overworked, and with so many residents to care for, it can be difficult for them to provide personalized attention to each individual. Mr. Albert, a fellow resident, expressed his frustration about the lack of one-on-one attention. "I don't feel like they really know me here," he said. "The nurses do their best, but they're so busy taking care of everyone else. Sometimes I feel like I'm just another number." Personalized care is one of the things that many of us expect when we move into a nursing home. But the reality is that staffing shortages and high resident-to-staff ratios can make it difficult for staff to truly get to know each resident's unique needs. This can lead to a feeling of being overlooked or forgotten, which can be disheartening for many of us. 5. Social stigma and isolation. In nursing homes, many of us may feel like we've lost our place in society. There's a certain stigma associated with being in a facility, and it can sometimes feel like we've been forgotten by the outside world. This isolation can affect our mental health and contribute to feelings of loneliness. Mrs. Dorothy, who had been living in the nursing home for a year, explained how she felt when her old friends stopped visiting. At first, everyone came to see me, but after a while, people stopped visiting. It's like they forgot about me, she shared. Now I don't hear from anyone. It's like I'm invisible. The isolation many of us experience in nursing homes is often a result of the social stigma attached to living in a facility. Friends and family may not know how to interact with us in this new environment, and as a result, visits become less frequent. The feeling of being forgotten can be painful and contribute to feelings of loneliness. Finding solutions and overcoming challenges. 1. Building new social connections. One of the hardest things about moving into a nursing home is the feeling of isolation and the difficulty of forming new, meaningful relationships. When we leave behind the community we once knew, it can be challenging to connect with others in the facility. However, there are ways to overcome this loneliness and build a sense of belonging, even in a new environment. Take Mr. Thomas, for example. When he first arrived at the nursing home, he felt completely disconnected from everyone. "I just didn't fit in," he told me. "I missed my old friends, my old life." But over time, Mr. Thomas began to make an effort to connect with other residents. He joined the weekly bingo games and started chatting with people in the dining hall. Slowly, he began to build new friendships. "It wasn't easy, but now I look forward to seeing my friends every day," he said with a smile. Forming new social connections in a nursing home is possible, but it takes time and effort. Joining group activities, starting conversations with others, and showing interest in their lives can help us create new relationships. While it may not be the same as the friendships we had before, these connections can make a world of difference in how we feel day to day. 2. Advocating for better care. When we first move into a nursing home, we often expect to receive top-quality care, but as we've discussed, that's not always the case. Many residents feel that their needs are not being fully met, or that the level of care they receive doesn't match their expectations. One of the most important ways we can overcome these challenges is by advocating for ourselves. Mrs. Linda, a fellow resident, shared how she was initially frustrated with the care she was receiving. "I felt like I had to ask for everything," she explained. "But after a few weeks, I decided to speak up. I asked the staff to help me with my mobility exercises, and I made sure they knew my preferences when it came to mealtimes." By voicing her concerns and being clear about her needs, Mrs. Linda was able to receive the care she deserved. It can feel uncomfortable to speak up at first, but advocating for our own care is an essential step in ensuring that our needs are met. Whether it's asking for help with daily tasks, requesting more personalized care, or simply letting the staff know what works best for us, taking the initiative can lead to better care and improved quality of life. 3. Finding independence within limitations. While living in a nursing home often means giving up some of the independence we once had, it doesn't mean we have to lose all of it. It's important to look for ways to regain control over our daily routines, even in a setting that feels restrictive. For example, Mr. Albert, who has lived in a nursing home for several years, has found ways to maintain his sense of independence. He enjoys spending time in the garden, tending to the flowers and plants. "It's my time to feel like myself again," he said. "I may not be able to do everything I used to, but I can still take care of these plants and watch them grow." By finding small ways to take care of ourselves, like tending to a garden, organizing our own space, or taking on small tasks, we can maintain a sense of independence. Even within the structured environment of a nursing home, there are opportunities to take charge of certain aspects of our lives. This can make a huge difference in how we feel about ourselves and our living situation. 4. Staying mentally engaged. Mental stimulation is crucial for maintaining our cognitive health, and many of us find that the activities in a nursing home don't always provide the challenge we need. But there are ways to stay mentally active and continue learning, even in a nursing home setting. Mrs. Evelyn, who loves reading, found a way to stay engaged by starting a book club with other residents. "At first it was just a small group of us," she said, "but now we have a regular meeting every week, and it's one of the highlights of my week." Not only did this give Mrs. Evelyn something to look forward to, but it also helped her keep her mind sharp and made her feel more connected to others. If you enjoy reading, solving puzzles, or engaging in other intellectually stimulating activities, consider finding or starting a group that focuses on those interests. Many nursing homes offer opportunities for creative activities, but if you don't see anything that piques your interest, you can always create your own group or project. 5. Staying connected with family and friends. Although living in a nursing home can create physical distance from our family and friends, it doesn't have to mean emotional distance. Staying connected with loved ones is crucial for maintaining our emotional well-being. Take Mr. David, for example. He had a close relationship with his daughter, but after moving into the nursing home, they had trouble keeping in touch regularly. It was hard at first, Mr. David admitted, but then my daughter started calling me every Sunday, and now it's something I really look forward to. By making the effort to stay in touch, whether through phone calls, video chats, or visits, Mr. David was able to maintain his bond with his family. For many of us, technology can help bridge the gap between family and nursing home life. If you're not already using video calls or social media to stay in touch, consider asking a family member or staff member to help you set it up. Staying connected with our loved ones can help us feel less isolated and remind us that we're not alone. If you're still following us and finding these insights valuable, please leave your thoughts in the comments to let us know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss any updates. Your support enables us to keep delivering valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now let's dive into the next part. The lessons learned from living in a nursing home. 1. The importance of maintaining independence and self-care. One of the most important lessons we can learn from living in a nursing home is the value of maintaining our independence, even when the circumstances seem to take it away. It's easy to fall into the trap of relying too much on others, especially when we have caregivers and staff available. However, it's essential to find ways to care for ourselves and preserve a sense of independence, no matter how small the task may seem. Take Mr. Edward, for example. He had always been an independent person, but after moving into the nursing home, he started to feel like he wasn't doing anything for himself anymore. At first, I thought it would be easy to just let everyone else take care of me, he said. But soon I realized that I wasn't feeling like myself. I started doing small things, like making my own bed and organizing my room, and it made a huge difference. Mr. Edwards' story reminds us that even in a nursing home, we can still maintain some control over our lives. Whether it's handling our personal belongings, taking part in activities, or even helping others, maintaining a sense of independence can boost our self-esteem and help us feel more like ourselves. 2. The importance of family relationships. Family relationships are a crucial aspect of our well-being, especially as we age. Living in a nursing home often means being physically separated from family members, but it doesn't have to mean emotional separation. We need to maintain strong bonds with our loved ones as they provide us with emotional support, comfort, and connection to the outside world. Mrs. Grace, a resident I met, told me about the importance of staying in touch with her children and grandchildren. At first, I felt like my family had forgotten about me, she said. But then, my daughter started calling me every week, and my grandkids send me letters. It really helped me feel like I wasn't alone. By making the effort to stay connected, even through phone calls or video chats, we can bridge the gap created by physical distance. It's important to reach out to our family members and let them know we need their support, just as they need ours. 3. Accepting change and adapting to new circumstances. One of the most difficult lessons to learn when living in a nursing home is the need to accept change. Whether it's the loss of our independence, the adjustment to a new environment, or the shift in our daily routine, change can be overwhelming. But learning to accept and adapt to these changes is essential for our mental and emotional well-being. Mr. Frank, who had been living in the nursing home for several months, shared how difficult it was for him to adjust. At first, I resisted everything, he said. I didn't want to accept that my life had changed. But over time, I realized that fighting it wasn't going to make things better. I had to learn to adapt and make the best of my new situation. Mr. Frank's story highlights the importance of accepting change, even when it's hard. We don't have to love the changes, but learning to live with them and find new ways to thrive can make the transition smoother. It's all about adjusting our mindset and finding new sources of joy and meaning, no matter the circumstances. Nangavdu, the value of social engagement and meaningful activities. Another important lesson we can learn from nursing home life is the value of social engagement. As we age, it's easy to become isolated, especially if we no longer have the same social circle we once had. However, engaging with others and participating in activities is crucial for maintaining our mental and emotional health. Mrs. Anna, who loves painting, found a new sense of purpose when she joined the art class at the nursing home. At first, I didn't know anyone, she explained, but I started taking the painting class, and now I've made some wonderful friends. It's something I look forward to every week. Social activities, whether they're group exercises, art classes, or even simple conversations with fellow residents, can help us stay engaged and feel connected to others. It's important to seek out these opportunities, even when we don't feel like it. Staying active and involved can bring back a sense of purpose and joy. 5. Letting go of the need for perfection. Finally, one of the most important lessons we can learn from living in a nursing home is the importance of letting go of perfection. We often hold ourselves to high standards, but as we age, we may find that we can't do everything we used to do. That's okay. What matters is that we continue to do what we can and focus on the things that bring us joy. Mr. Harold, a resident I met, used to be very active and worked hard to maintain a perfect home. But after moving into the nursing home, he found it difficult to keep up with everything. I used to have everything perfect, he said, but now I've learned that it's okay if things aren't perfect. I do what I can, and that's enough. Mr. Harold's story teaches us that we don't have to be perfect to live a fulfilling life. It's okay to let go of unrealistic expectations and focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, enjoying a hobby, or simply relaxing, we can find contentment in the small things. Living in a nursing home is not the decision most of us take lightly, and as we've seen throughout this article, it comes with a range of challenges. From the loss of independence and the emotional toll of loneliness, to the financial burden and the lack of personal attention, the reality of life in a nursing home can be far different from what we initially expect. But it's important to remember that these struggles are not something we need to face alone. Many of us have learned valuable lessons throughout this experience, whether it's the importance of maintaining independence, the need for social connections, or the power of adapting to change. While living in a nursing home may not be easy, it can also be an opportunity to learn more about ourselves and to grow in ways we never expected. For anyone considering moving into a nursing home, I encourage you to take a moment and truly reflect on the decision. While it may seem like the right choice, it's important to be fully aware of both the positive and negative aspects of life in a nursing home. This will help you make the best decision for yourself and ensure that you're prepared for the challenges that may arise. If you're still with us and finding these insights valuable, we'd love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments to let us know you're here. We'll be happy to respond and offer any advice if you need help. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so and stay updated with our latest content. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.